want you to hear some of this stuff in this interview too. This is a South African who's come to America with his family, and he started a killing spree in Alaska and who knows where else. But let's listen.
I don't talk like that.
Bradley Phillips does, or whoever that is, then.
No, Bradley's a naughty person. He's just tells dirty jokes and he's racist. He can make racist jokes.
To understand why Brian, or Bradley, picked up the term racist, we need to look at his past. Brian Stephen Smith, originally from South Africa, served in the military and regularly posted on Quora, often blaming black people for societal issues. Given his history, it's no surprise his racist views may have extended to his victims, including Kathleen Henry, a Native American woman.
I can tell you that I am worried that I'm going to say something that's going to... Look, I'm in trouble. I know I'm in trouble. There's no lying, but I'm scared I say something that gets me into worse trouble.
Dude is faking like he has split consciousness. Like, what's the word I'm looking for? Anyways, I'll continue.
Makes it look like I'm a really bad person. I am a really bad person, according to this.
So you're worried that you could say something that would make you sound worse than you
than
picked
what
up?
I really am, yeah.
Then, so we already know what you are and what you did this night, right?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think of yourself?
I don't know, because I'm disgusted that I've done something like this.
Do you think that, and I'm not saying it was entirely intentional, but do you think that you, the good Brian that we're talking to, apparently we haven't seen the bad Brian yet because bad Brian did this. Do you think good Brian wanted bad Brian to get caught? That's why it's...
Bad Brian and good Brian. I don't know if there even is a good Brian. Or we'll just say fake good Brian. The two of them are tag team partners. Okay? It's the same person. Is a different facet from the same person. Like, we all have facets. You can be a mother, you can be a daughter, there's so many different facets of who you are. But this so-called good Brian, bad Brian, we all have good and bad, right? But it's whether you're the part of you that is good enough to not be a violator, to not be a monster. Whether you control who you are, right? This guy says in these clips where he's killing these women that what are people going to think that are going to watch this? So this is my question. Where's the FBI on this one? Who are these people watching this, and where are these people who were watching these snuff videos? Where are they at?
Somebody made it so easy for us?
So we're not at a stalemate. I've done that. I just don't know why.
You just have no explanation for good or bad of why you did it, why it happened.
Yeah. The photographs are stupid. You say that somebody took the SD card out of my truck and I said, no, give it back, it belongs to work or something. That's what you said. If I was trying to hide away and not get caught, I would not let something like it happen. I wouldn't have
seems
an SD
careless.
card. I wouldn't have an SD card.
But all this seems careless too.
Very, yeah. That's somebody that wants to get caught. And you're in a hotel room, for God's sake.
In your own hotel, in your own chain of, using your own name with your own employee discount.
Yeah.
By trying to establish the...
This isn't just a swimsuit, it's your new beach to street fade. Paired with
Damn,
shorts
son of a
or jeans
bitch.
for an easy look.
good Brian and bad Brian analogy, he believes he can convince the detectives that he wasn't the one responsible for such horrors. But the real question is, will this tactic work, or will it only lead him to stumble into another grave he dug years ago? In the next clip, Brian drops a revelation that catches the detective off guard, which will now cement his fate in prison.
Some time ago, I picked up a very drunk girl. My wife was gone. She was away for the weekend. I had to go home.
How long ago was that about?
Oh my God, maybe 3 years ago. she was on the side there, and she actually seemed like a nice person. She wanted booze, I knew that. She was drunk. She had a half a bottle of R&R on her there. I think that's actually why I stopped, because I had some booze, but I didn't know if I had enough. So that attracted me to her. I picked her up and I said, hey, you want some warm food and a warm place to sleep tonight? And she was like, yes, sure. And she jumped in, but she was...
And that's what sealed these Native American women's fate, is him playing the good Brian. So this is why I'm saying they are the so-called good and the violent Brian are intertwined, because this woman was homeless and just wanted to get off the street and sleep. And he put on the good Brian act for her to get her in the car and to go with him. So her trusting nature got her killed.
She was really drunk. She was slurring it. And I took her home, and she fell asleep on the couch in front of the TV. And she was smelling. I knew she was homeless then. You know, she was stinking. And I was getting upset, and I said to her, go take a shower. You know, because now there's smell in the house. You know, Stephanie would smell like there was...
Racist white people have been saying other races of people smell for the longest time. They've always said these type of things to them. It's a part of their disassociation with humanity, so that they can commit violent acts against somebody by saying, oh, they're different from me. This woman smells, which is going to give him the go-ahead for himself, or the green light for himself to murder her, because she's not a person to him. She's not a human being to him.
A homeless person in the house, and she wouldn't do it. She kept saying no, and I was worried that she's going to vomit now, because then I realized that she really had been drinking a lot. No excuse, but I had also been drinking. But like I said, when Stephanie goes, that's Brian time. I can.
All of a sudden, he remembers that murder, but he doesn't remember the other ones. Get the fuck out of here.
You call it Brian time. I can let my hair down. I can just relax and get rid of the whole stress of being married all the time. I clearly remember this. And again, I'm not lying to you. I don't remember. I can't visualize this girl. But I went through to the garage and I got my little pistol there. And I said to her, go shower, and she wouldn't.
Let's hold it right there. So this South African, and I'm assuming he's not even a citizen of America, right? Or became a citizen. He was in the military in South Africa, right? He shoots this woman in the head point blank. Let's stick with that for a minute. He shoots this Native American woman assassin style.
She wouldn't. And I just did that. And I
While she was on the couch?
yeah, I just shot her. The messed up thing, I can tell you honestly, there was no emotion there. I was just, you're not listening to me, go shower, you're not listening to me. You know, I knew that.
It's not about her not taking the shower, and why would she get undressed in front of a stranger if all she wanted to do was sleep and rest? And he said he had no emotion. We know that he had no emotion, because males like this have no emotion. They're stone cold killers, and they see no humanity in anybody. And they have video or like a whole bunch of online whatever with this guy being super racist, right? Making racist comments. He's a racist. He's a white racist who is a serial killer. These are the type of men Trump wants in this country. You better think about that. These incidents happened in 2019. I think he got here around the time Trump got into office the first time. So I feel there's some type of correlation with these type of men from South Africa, these white racist men from South Africa coming into America. So here you have it. Let's play.
The longer she stays here, the worse trouble I'm going to get in with Stephanie. She's going to stink up the place. If she vomits on the carpet, it's going to be, you know.
He's worried about her vomiting on the carpet, but he's not worried about her blood soaking into the couch him and his wife sit on. Is that what he's saying? He's worried about vomit, but not blood and brain splatter? Let's get fucking real.
The woman he murdered years ago was 52-year-old Veronica Abuchak, a Native American like Kathleen, who also lived in the same homeless shelter. He shot her with a .22 pistol, but the horror didn't stop there. What he did to her body afterward is even more gut-wrenching.
I did have a photo of me trying to stick my fingers into her, you know.
So that was a real photo of you doing that to the person you shot. Was that before or after you shot her?
After. Yeah. And so I actually did show that to Alicia. Alicia and myself actually had a conversation. She wanted me to...
Okay, so these are some questions I want to ask that weren't asked in this interview. You told her to go take a shower. She didn't want to take a shower and she just wanted to sleep. How did she get naked again? How did she get naked? After you shot her? And then you violated her. And you violated her body. So you took her clothes off. So while you're making all these excuses, he's making all these excuses. Oh, she smelled, she this, she that. He sexually violates her after he shoots her in the head.
Prove. You know, because that was the thing that I'm like, prove it, Brian, prove it, you know. And so I thought to myself, I'm going to do something I never do, and I'm going to undelete these things. I feel very guilty about that girl, that lady. She was a sweet lady.
He doesn't feel guilty. He does not feel guilty. Because guilt would have prevented you from doing that in the first place.
Nice. The only thing,
This lady,
yeah,
okay.
all she did to me was make my nuts stink.
And wouldn't go to the shower when
Yeah.
you told her to.
So I was going to grab her clothes, put in the washing machine, and do a dry one time. Human being does shit like a snake's life. And of course,
You'd be surprised.
I'm going to be on frickin' America's Dumbest Criminals. I actually took Alicia there because I was boasting.
Took her to.
Yeah, I was boasting to her. But I knew, but this is like a year after, or 2 years after.
You took her there about a year after it happened.
I knew it wasn't there. I knew the
So after he discarded that woman's body and they found her body in Alaska, he takes another woman there. He takes another woman there, not very shortly after. So while we're talking about surveillance and FBI and things like that, you know, they could have found him. They could have found this man. They could have found him before he committed this. Well, who knows how many murders he committed.
wasn't there because I'd driven past a few times, and from the road, I could see that what I'd covered with was not there anymore.
Okay, so somebody had found it.
So that's why I know you guys must have
Somebody found the remains before you took Alicia out there a year later.
Yeah.
I know we have found remains in that area.
Okay. Yeah.
And I don't know whether it's her or not, but I know that there's been remains found in that area.
I've got a funny feeling I was... In my mind, my memory is that they found it very quickly. You know, it was like very soon.
Do you recall hearing it on the news, or how did you...
No. There was nothing on the news. And that's what I know that sometimes if something bad happens...
Anyways, there's these South African serial killer type males coming into America, and we always want to target brown skinned people, but what about men like this? So where's the outrage from MAGA and people like MAGA, oh, I know why. Because they're just the same. They have the same fucking mentality. They don't care. They don't care that he targeted Native American women, homeless women, women that have been going through things from their whole childhood up into adulthood. And you think that they can't be missed, they're not worthy or whatever. So in your mind, you don't care. But this is how Hitler started. Hitler and his regime started like this, and men like him, or who Hitler put in his regime, stone cold killers, stone cold violators, no remorse and no care. And Hitler started with the people that in Germany that were mentally disabled, some elderly, you name it, and he went after them and he euthanized them and he killed them. So where's the outrage? That's all I want to know. Where is the outrage on men like this, or males? I don't want to call them men, because men, divine men from God, divine men, no matter what race they are, don't do these type of things. They don't.